Hey everyone, welcome to CX Insider in 2023. To kick off the new year, this special episode, exclusively on YouTube, will explore the team behind the podcast, getting to know some of our members on a more personal level through a round of games, questions and stories. This episode is less formal and more fun, exactly what CX Insider aims to be. So join us next week as we continue our bi-weekly conversations with industry-leading customer experience professionals, helping you level up your own CX game. For now, enjoy the special episode, and as always, huge thank you to our sponsor ACF Technologies, global leaders in customer experience management solutions.
Hi guys! Finally, after 3 years, we almost all of us managed to come here into the studio to record an episode about us. Get to know CX Insider. I can't believe that we've recorded almost 90 episodes and we have never recorded an episode where the audience could get to know us. So here we are, and this episode is a special episode, and Marcell and I came up with some spicy quizzes and questions where the audience can get to know us not on the professional level but the personal level. But it's not too crazy.
Let's see.
We don't know
what you're going to ask, by the way.
Yeah. You don't know what we're going to ask.
I'm panicking.
Anyway, we will start with some icebreaker, and as always, we do introductions with all of our guests. So we will start with introductions. Everyone will say their name and what they do at ACF Technologies and some random fact that not many people know about them. And if it's too awkward, we're going to cut it out, but probably not. So I'm going to start. My name is Valentina. I am a marketing executive at ACF Technologies. And a random fact that many people don't know about me is that when I was a little girl, I wanted to become a butcher.
I did not know that.
A butcher.
Really?
I thought you wanted to be a star in
dream.
Hollywood.
I wanted, but everyone knows that. So
As a butcher.
Why a butcher?
when you're a little kid, you want to be whatever you see, like a teacher, postman, whatever. And so when I was little, my grandma used to pick me up from school, and on our way home, we used to stop by the butcher's to buy some sausages and ham. And when I was little, I don't know how it is. Actually, I don't know how it is in the UK, weirdly, but in the early 2000s in the Czech Republic, you just go to the butcher's, and the layout is that it starts with like very nice open sandwiches, with all sorts of spreads and hard-boiled eggs and pickled cucumbers, and then it follows by sausages and ham and meat. And whenever we went there, we always bought some ham, and the lady put it on the machine where it was slicing very fast the thin slices of ham, and I loved sausages, so it was
Wow.
so
This is definitely making the edit, right?
Sounds you're in the
100%
wrong
it's got
career
to make the
path.
edit.
sorry.
You're in the wrong career path.
Yeah, well, as I grew older, it didn't quite align with my other life goals, so
working marketing for a sausage company.
turned out to be a marketer. I still like eating sausages, but whatever. So, Andy, it's your turn.
Wow, that is something to top. Andy Hart, the managing director for ACF in EMEA. A random fact on the spot. So my birthday is the 31st of August. If I was born a few hours later, I'd have been in a different school year. So that's as fun as it gets. Maybe it's one of those sliding. It could have been, maybe it's a sliding doors moment. My whole life could have been different a few hours later.
So you're the youngest
Yeah.
in your school year. You
Yeah,
would
yeah.
have been the eldest. Okay.
Yeah.
So everyone was 18, celebrating 18th birthday. Everyone was drinking, and you did not.
Oh yeah, well, and another fun fact. I remember going on holiday because I had loads of friends that were older. Obviously, I went on holiday when I was 17 to Magaluf, and I had to get my parents to write a letter for the travel agent to let you go because my friends were 18, I was 17, so you're only allowed to go on those if you're 18, unless you get a signed note from your parents. Yeah, the travel agent. I literally have to get my parents to write a letter.
Wow.
Cool. Yeah. So I'm Greg. I am the head of sales and marketing for ACF here in EMEA. And fun fact about me. So when I was about 9 years old, I was in an advert for Lego. Probably cut to the edit where Marcell's probably adding it right now. So thanks for that. But yeah, to film that advert, I went to Budapest in Hungary, and was there for a week where they filmed it. So pretty random, but fun fact about me. Yeah.
So they flew you out there
Yeah.
as a full celebrity.
Yep. And I was saying,
The face of Lego.
well, not for long.
Yeah.
What was interesting, I was saying to Marcell just the other day that for one of the scenes in the advert, I know there was about, like, I don't know, 1,000, maybe 2,000 extras for one scene because they had to make a fake, like, ticker tape parade or whatever it was. I don't know. It's just random. That's my weird but fun fact.
I wanted to
about me.
ask actually, Greg, do you know what was in the box?
Well, they did say at the time that I'm not allowed to tell anyone, so you're gonna have to watch the advert. And
Do you
then
have the
guess.
advert?
Well, it's really good actually.
Hello, I'm Alex Temistos. I'm a new business development and account manager here at ACF. And fun fact or random fact about me is I've visited 24 countries out of the 156, I think there are.
Which one's your favorite?
Favorite?
You can't say the UK.
Or Cyprus.
South Africa.
Okay.
It was a nice trip.
When did you go there?
I went 3 times
Really?
for work, yeah.
Wow. For work?
3 consecutive years, yeah.
And least favorite?
Least favorite? I would say Egypt. Reason being, the hotel that I was in the newest part of the city of Cairo. It's called New Cairo. And there's the specific road where I was not finished yet. So there was nothing around.
Yeah.
So as an experience from a country, I would say, yeah, that was...
Yeah, you didn't get
perhaps
to experience
Yeah,
much.
I didn't get to see
Yeah.
anything. Right?
Well, you need to go the second time then.
I was watching the World Cup at the hotel. That was my...
Marcel?
Yeah, so I'm Marcel. I'm currently the placement student at ACF, also a marketing executive, and I work mainly on the podcast. A fun fact about me is that so I live on the Isle of Wight, and when I was in primary school, my class was actually the head behind the Isle of Wight Monopoly. So we designed the board, and our school is one of the locations, and it's a pretty proud moment.
That's cool. That is cool. Right.
So, we're going to play the first quiz, which is Never Have I Ever. Everyone has their cards ready. The red is never, and then we've got I have.
Okay.
I'm gonna say the question, I'm gonna read it from the phone, and you have to be honest. No lies.
Okay.
Because we'll know it. And
How are you?
and show because we recognize when somebody's lying, and make sure to show this to the camera so everyone can see that. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. So the first question is: never have I ever pretended I needed to make a phone call to get out of an awkward conversation with a coworker.
What?
Yep.
Oh my god, this is not how you build trust in your team.
Never.
Okay, yeah, Greg, you are leaving meetings all the time. You always say like, "Oh, I gotta go."
Yeah,
I have to go."
every meeting
It's
is
so
like, I've
hard
just
to
got to jump on
stop.
a
Probably
call.
to every single one of them.
Literally everyone.
He does it every day.
I do it to Greg a lot,
Yeah. If I'm talking too much, I know that Andy's like, yeah, I need to.
and you
Just
always
go
talk
away.
too much. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Never have I ever worked all day in my pajamas.
Pajamas. No.
Never?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Pajamas, as in-
Not even during lockdown?
I can't remember ever working in my PJs. No.
I mean, actual pajamas or the clothes you sleep with?
Is that not the same thing?
That's I would say that's the same.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was covered under the pajamas was covering it. Yeah.
Shorts, like shorts.
Yeah, that's
No pajamas.
Let's move on.
Never have I ever lied in a job interview.
Yeah.
I mean, we work in sales, so you need to sell yourself.
You haven't had
And
enough jobs.
it's
yet,
not
To
like
be
a-
fair, I've had like one
Yeah, exactly.
or two. I've had like two.
Good to know, because if you
interviews.
said I have and this is your only job. Wait, what?
Can you tell us what did you lie about?
Oh yeah.
It depends. I'd say embellished, definitely. So where's the line
Yeah.
between embellished and lying?
Mhm.
But
Exactly. That's the
Well, that's just marketing, really, isn't it?
exactly.
Thin lines.
depends how you look at it.
I've definitely amalgamated experiences and put it into a picture that maybe is not quite true.
Yeah.
Or I did something over here and I did something over here and maybe someone else did something over here.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that can be a story. So
Yeah, I was a part of a team
Yeah.
where this happened, and I didn't refer to the team in my answer. It was all me. Yeah.
it was all-
Do you get the jobs?
I'm sat here today.
Ditto.
Too late too late to back out now.
This
Yeah.
is great. Never have I ever started drinking before the work day is over. Oh yeah, we all
What?
have
I mean,
Yeah.
the work-
Technically.
technically.
They say it's 5 p.m. somewhere, right? So.
Never have I ever imagined myself being on a reality TV show.
Ooh. Reality TV show. Yeah, probably have at some point.
Do you know which one?
You can imagine being on like Celebrity Jungle because you're always looking
Yeah.
doing the challenges and like, I could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Celebrity Jungle was that?
I'm a Celebrity, get me out of here.
Yeah.
You not seen that before?
Mm-mm.
What cave do you live in?
Yeah, I was gonna say yeah.
Check here.
No, that one's
Foreigner
that's a
in the
good
UK.
example. Like, I think I do think that. I think like if I ever, because I like the idea of the challenge. Like
And never have I ever pretended to laugh at a joke I didn't get.
for
Oh,
sure.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
Done it this episode.
Yeah, exactly.
Last question. Never have I ever got a crush on a celebrity.
Crush on a celebrity. You'll probably have
Okay.
at some point.
Everyone has to tell their crush.
Crush.
I actually don't have one now.
Chris
No.
Evans,
Who's that?
Captain
Who?
America.
Oh,
Yeah, he's a
I haven't
legend.
seen that.
Catherine Zeta-Jones. When I was
Oh.
young.
Is
Yeah.
that an actress?
Yeah.
Oh.
Catherine, yeah. What was it in a particular film?
No, just generally.
Stalking.
I went on her Facebook.
Yeah, you must have seen her in something.
I remember at one point I think I had a crush on Christina Aguilera. For sure. Yeah. When I was younger. it
I
was
had that as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
She was, like,
and
really
Britney
pop-
Spears at one point as well, probably.
Britney.
to a degree.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, they were like the same time, weren't they? Christina
Yeah.
Aguilera,
Yep.
Britney
Yep.
Spears.
What about you?
Me?
You asked the question. You
Yeah.
you can't get away with it.
I think the strongest crush was when I was in primary school and High School Musical was, the big film.
Mhm.
I was in love with Zac Efron.
Oh,
He is good looking, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Clearly,
Okay.
clearly still got a crush.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't think you're over that one yet. Are you?
Watch out, Zach.
Well, I have one more question, and that is, never have I ever hosted a podcast. Okay, Marcel. So, you've never hosted a podcast. Do you want to?
yeah. Sure.
Great, Marcel. So you're an undergraduate student at the University of Southampton, right? You're
Correct.
studying what? Marketing? Digital
Marketing.
Marketing, right. And you're currently on your industrial placement year as a podcaster at ACF Technologies, and you, in the new year, will take over the role of being the podcast host. So, why do you want to do podcasting?
Well, I've always been interested in media production, specifically film and music as well. So I have a bit of experience with kind of video and audio editing as well. And then when this opportunity came about while I was searching for placement, I just thought it'd be the perfect opportunity really to blend my degree with marketing and also this passion for media together. And now here we are.
Do you have a favorite podcast?
I think I have to go with the basic answer probably of saying Joe Rogan, because I think just the insane amount of guests that he has, and they're all so like high quality and have so many different insights and just talk about so many interesting things. And he's such a great character too. That's definitely, I think, the one I find the most fun.
Yeah, Joe Rogan. I mean, Joe Rogan's the best in the world of podcasting. I don't have a favorite podcast. I just listen to whatever is good,
Yeah.
like specific episodes. But I was
Yeah.
always wondering about Joe Rogan, how he can prepare and how he can lead so many in-depth conversations about so many different topics.
Exactly.
And he records several podcasts a day. So
Mhm.
how does he prepare for all that? I mean, he is a
Yeah.
team of people.
Because he's drunk or
It's
stoned for
crazy.
most of it as well.
Yeah, pretty much.
That brings the creative questions. Yeah. Not
Also,
gonna try
I see most of his stuff like on shorts, which I think is really good now that you can have just people making clips of just the best moments, and you can, learn more quicker. It's great.
Yeah.
Valentina, what has been your experience of hosting the podcast like? For how long have you hosted it now for? Now that you're handing over the reins.
You're the longest running host.
I started being the host in January during my placement year, and I think that was 2020.
Yeah.
Was it 2020?
So it's almost 2 years actually.
Yeah, it's almost 2
Oh,
years.
Wow.
It's 2 years
Sorry,
actually.
2 years. Yeah,
It's 2 years.
yeah.
Wow.
It's a long time.
It's time to move on.
It's good.
So what will you be focusing on now?
Butchery.
Well, I now have the general marketing role at ACF UK office, so I'm taking care of kind of managing all of our marketing plans in the UK and make sure that they are kind of aligned with our global marketing objectives that are led by our colleagues in LATAM and US.
And how are you finding it so far at ACF?
It's great, yeah. I really like the whole work from home setup, to be honest.
Mhm.
It's all I've known, so.
I'm sure you do live in the Isle of Wight. So.
Sorry?
I said, I'm sure you do. You live in the Isle of Wight.
Well, yeah. Well, it has its moments. But doing my A levels, well, I didn't do them. I didn't have any exams, so I went to uni. That was kind of COVID impacted as well, and now, first year of proper work is the same.
Mhm.
So, but it's good. I like the flexibility, the freedom, just to kind of work however I can. So, yeah, it's I've been really enjoying it, and the work as well. Like I said, it's kind of combines everything that I wanted to do. So, yeah, it's really good.
What about 2023? What have we got in store for the podcast, for the
Wow.
viewers, listeners? What have we got in store for next year?
We have got a dedicated CX Insider website, maybe some merch on there too.
Yeah.
Maybe more guests, more episodes, higher production quality,
That's enough for now.
New branding.
Yeah, update.
brand refresh.
Yeah, a lot of updates, to be honest. Like, you guys pour a lot of time and effort and energy into the podcast, and I think you're going to be doing even more so. I think one of the things is on YouTube, obviously now that we do every episode full video, the amount of time and effort you guys put into the production of things like the shorts, the chapters, like that's going to be a lot more next year as well, isn't it? And that's really that's good for the
Definitely
audience, because
expanding a lot
that's
on
like
YouTube.
it's shorter form, more digestible content, because you
Yep.
can watch the entire episode, or you can watch like chapters, and that will be good for our audience for not only watching obviously and like listening and stuff, but also if they want to share it on social media, it might be more friendly.
So if you're watching this now and you haven't subscribed yet, the button's down there.
There you go.
What's your ambitions for the podcast next year? So knowing where we are now, where
Right now, we're on track to hit 1,500 followers on LinkedIn by the end of the year. Hopefully, by the time my placement finishes, we can push that to 2,000. Hoping for 200 YouTube subscribers, currently about just over 100. And I think we've got near 30,000 views. So just pumping those numbers up constantly.
I reckon we could hit 100,000 views by the end of 2023.
We could. I mean, if one short kind of explodes, then there you go.
Yep.
Which is, really good for exposure.
Yeah.
Valentina, do you have any advice?
For hosting.
Yeah.
So given that it's always a placement student who mainly hosts the podcast, and none of us, I didn't have any experience, you don't have much experience, who knows about the future placement student? I guess the advice is, it's easy to say but difficult to do. Like, don't be afraid that you're going to say something awkward or embarrassing or stupid, because you're probably going to say it anyway, and you need to be comfortable being uncomfortable in these situations, because all of our conversations are very unscripted. We only have like a rough plan of all the questions that we want to ask, but there's a lot of sub questions, there's a lot of like subtopics. So just you're because we've got guests from so many different backgrounds and various industries and companies and everything with different profiles, and we talk about the things that you and I are not experts in. So you will always be in conversations where you don't have that much knowledge about, but don't be afraid.
It's definitely a unique placement opportunity as well. Like, I'm sure not many other people get to do so much exciting stuff on their placement. So yeah, I'm grateful for that.
Are you nervous about hosting?
Yeah, maybe I think I was, but now, like, sitting in the studio here, there's no audience. So it gives you that kind of barrier, and it's nice to know that obviously I do the editing as well, so I can correct any missteps and make sure, nice and fleshed out by the end. So I think once you sit down, the nerves kind of settle quite quickly, and then, yeah, I'm fine now, to be honest. I'm ready.
Great, so let's try that.
Okay, so I'll be taking over as host for the second part of this episode. We'll be playing a game called Who is Most Likely To?
Okay.
Pretty straightforward. I'm going to ask you a list of questions, and you'll have to point to which person you think is most likely to do that action.
Can we point to anyone? I guess we can, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Point
Including
I was
always.
checking
yourself.
you host are not excluded.
No,
You're
yeah.
included.
No,
Including
no.
yourself.
All right, okay. All right.
What's wrong?
I heard you gulp then. Like,
Oh
are you
my-
nervous?
Her face is like some very.
You're nervous. You wrote the question.
I didn't. Marcell
Oh,
wrote the
okay.
questions.
All right, we're starting with a nice tame one. Who is most likely to fake a sick day?
I'm so quick.
Andy.
I mean, like,
Apparently
if
it's Andy.
it is anyone, it's gonna be the managing director.
Well, he's
Because
most
he
likely to get
can't.
away with it, really, right?
If it's
Me?
anyone, it's going to be the intern, surely.
And it has to be at the same time. Everyone at the same time.
Okay,
So
so you
we
have
don't.
to
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
not influenced by
Okay.
I think it's too late.
like whoever comes to your mind first.
I think maybe it might be Alex, though.
Me,
All those vacations that you class as work trips.
I was working with 38 fever the other day, so I'm not. I was.
Not you
Okay.
then.
Who is most likely to get kicked out of a bar?
Me.
I'll go with Andy.
Okay, with that.
Everyone.
See, I was influenced by other people. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it's you, Andy, because more people pointed at you.
Yeah.
I would have said Adam, but he's not here.
I would have.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We all-
Point
we
at the
all would
camera.
have said
Adam.
Adam.
We'll cut him here or something.
Who's most likely to spend way too much money on something useless? They're pointing at themselves.
I think Valentina.
Me?
What's the most useless thing you've bought?
I bought so many. I got
Exactly.
scammed so many times because I can't. In London, I remember the most useless thing was I'm not gonna tell the shop, but I think it's on Oxford Street. And the people, there were a lot of personal shoppers, and they dragged me into the skincare shop, and they were trying all these different skincare products on me, and I didn't want to buy them, and they kept insisting, and they kept telling me that they're gonna give me discounts, and they were discounting. They were telling me how nice I was and how beautiful I will be, and I so much didn't want to buy them, but they.
Alex, you said yourself.
Yeah,
why
I
is
can't
that?
think of anything, but I bought a lot
Oh.
throughout my life.
Okay.
Useless stuff that I didn't need. I think if you ask this question in front of my partner, she would go. Like,
Oh yeah,
"Ah."
she's.
Yeah.
I once bought a small vending machine for peanuts.
Vending machine for peanuts.
And yeah, so that's, and then I also bought what is it called in English?
Sorry.
It's gonna be there. The thing where it's for drinks and water, and you put the cup there, and it's gonna, what is it called?
Like a cup
It's like a
stand.
water tank.
Water tank. But
Water dispenser.
Yeah,
water
yeah.
dispenser. But I bought a small one.
All right. Yeah.
It was for I wanted to buy it for a house party for cocktails, but I couldn't. It wasn't working. So when I put the drinks inside, I couldn't flip it the like around because it.
Okay,
Cool.
who's most likely to lock themselves out of their own house?
I'll go.
Me.
You.
Are you
So
pointing
you've-
to Alex or me? Alex. Oh yeah.
You've got stories.
Yeah, embarrassingly, recently I worked from like a Spaces in London, and I worked past the closing time, so like everything had closed, everyone had left, and I was on a call, really not concentrating. I jumped in what I thought was the lift I came up in this building. It was actually a service lift. I ended up going down to what I thought was the ground, and I ended up in the basement. Don't ask me how, but then I ended up walking through 2 doors and basically got locked in the basement of a skyscraper in the centre of London for like a good hour. I was in there, and security had to try and find me. So. And an hour later, I was just.
What did you do? Didn't you have to call them up?
Yeah, there was like a buzzer to speak to security, and yeah, because the building was so large, they didn't know where I was. So. I said,
Oh, so you got to talk to them immediately, but they couldn't find you.
yeah, it took like I think it was like good 45 minutes or so before they'd find me. Like,
Why? Didn't
That's
you know
stressful.
where you
well, I couldn't. I actually said I'm in the basement. They said, yeah, there's a lot of basements in this building. It's got like 5 levels of basements and rooms and whatever else. I tried to describe what I could see, but it was
That's
an
stressful.
embarrassing moment. It wasn't one of my best, I must say.
Okay,
Yeah.
and the final one. Greg, you might be out of the running for this one, judging on based on that story.
Yeah.
But who is most likely to live the longest?
I reckon you, because you're the youngest. And but the youngest of like, I feel like the younger you are generational wise, you're more likely to get like the benefit
You're
of the
picking
future
up-
healthcare stuff.
And you're picking up
I
better
pointed in Marcell.
lifestyle
Better
choices.
practices,
Yeah.
learning from.
No smoking, no this, no that.
Good point. Okay, thanks very much everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed this more personal episode from the CX Insider podcast. We'll be back next week with our first episode of 2023. We'll catch you then. We're starting with a nice tame one. Who is most likely?
Fail.
I like that.
Who is most like? I can't speak.
It's all right.
What kind of host